Oh, Mekci. Hey guys. Well, it's Franky and Mekci together again tonight. Something's going on with Mekci's audio. Let me try this again. Yeah, poor Mekci, static again. So, while Mekci's figuring that out, how are you guys doing? It is 26 degrees here. It's been like crazy warm this week. Believe it or not, I used to like that. I was quite comfortable in the early 30s. Well, oh my God. So I want to talk a little bit about Richard Allen again tonight. So Mekci and I have been kind of doing a little bit more digging. And I don't know about this. What do you guys think? Is Richard Allen faking this? Or hey Lynn, how you doing, friend? Do you think Mekci? Do you want to try it again, Mekci? There we are.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Mekci.
Thank God. Happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday. So I was just saying, you and I were kind of bouncing around, taking a look at some of these documents. And oh, your audio seems to be popping in and out.
Well, do you hear static though?
Not right now.
Okay,
no.
I just
I'll let you
muted
know.
myself. Yeah.
I'll let you know. Yeah, you just hear the click, 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 click.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you know if you see me bump you.
Understood. Fair warning.
Yeah, where's James? He's doing it. It's got to be. Do you know what? I think you're 100% right, Lynn. I mean, as soon as he talked to his wife, they're saying, allegedly, he started to like kind of twist off a little bit. And I don't know. He did have that psych evaluation and they say he's just fine. So I don't know. What do you think, Mekci? Why is it that people are bound and determined to go to trial even when it's this far? The guy's now admitted to both his mom, allegedly, and his wife.
Well, I still want him to go to trial. It needs to be fair.
Oh, absolutely. But if I don't think this guy is going to get off. I don't know how they fix this.
Yeah, you're probably right though. But I do wonder if, from what we know of what that fellow inmate wrote in that letter,
Yes.
if we're to believe what he's saying,
Yeah.
it sounds like the other inmates maybe did some sort of like psychological warfare on him or something. And I mean, it must be hard being in prison, sitting and waiting for somebody to hear you out.
Well, especially somebody that is in there for what he's in there for. That's a really good question, Lynn.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think he should change his plea to guilty and save the families from hearing all the stuff that he could have done to those girls.
If he really did it. Because I mean, I've heard of people who've like falsely confessed before, just from the cops, like, interrogating them for I don't know how many hours, or just going crazy, like sitting and waiting in jail. So
Hey, James, good to see you, friend.
Hi, James.
James. Well, but this guy, that you've got way too many other things pointing his
Right,
direction.
no kidding, yeah.
Yeah, so with all of that combined, and then him telling everybody, like, it sounds like he was talking to people in the medical part of that jail. Sounds like he was talking to them. But I do have this letter. So this was filed April 28th, and we're just getting this now. So this reads, I'm an inmate at Westville Correctional Facility in the same unit that Richard Allen is being housed in, awaiting trial. Richard Allen is being abused and mistreated along with other inmates in Westville Control. Then it says 1 unit, I think. Restrictive housing. There are corrupt officers and ranking officers calling Richard Allen a kid unaliver, teasing him that he has a visit from his family. Phone is ringing on his GTL tablet. Inmates in cell. Okay, what? On his
Right,
G7
Lynn. Right.
tablet. Inmates in cells A1 through 102. Logan Osborne, A2 207. Inmate Riley. Inmate cell A2 204 and A2 205. Threatening to unalive Richard Allen and telling him to unalive himself. And these inmates have made these comments in front of Warden John, Gallipo. Ranking officers, the staff has recorded on camera these inmates making these threats and suggestions to unalive himself and has done nothing to stop it. Well, I don't know what to say about that. I have proof and evidence of assaults by ranking officers on inmates, abuse and mistreatment in, okay, in grievance and the governor's office of Ombudsman oh, good Lord, Borio, that have been mishandled and covered up because the Indiana Department of Corrections is allowed to police itself with their Office of Investigations. Intelligence, I really sent letter to the U.S. Department of Justice from Indiana State Representative Dr. Vernon G. Smith and the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee concerning the DOJ and FBI mishandling complaints on the Indiana Department of Correction and their facilities. On March 21st, 2023, while in the same unit as Richard Allen, I attempted to unalive myself and spent 3 days in the hospital due to staff and officers' abuse and mistreatment. On April 9, 2022, I attempted to unalive and spent 4 days in hospital intensive care unit. Turnover page. So, what do you think of this guy so far?
Well, like Lynn was saying, this guy is a convicted, obviously he's convicted, Chester.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, can he really be trusted? Am I supposed to like boo him, like boo hoo? You know, he's like, I'm being mistreated. The inmates, all the other
Yeah.
inmates treat us bad. Well, you guys are inmates. Like that's
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
kind of treat everybody bad like that. But when it comes down, what I'm concerned about, the only thing that I'm concerned about in all of this is where do these guys actually sit, like the corrections department, like because I still question, like, did they really let him show up to court like that, all dirty like that?
Well, what they're saying in some of the paperwork is that he has nice, clean clothes inside of his cell, allegedly, but he wore his workout clothes.
But they let him out like that?
Yeah, I don't know how that worked.
Because like I almost feel like that you would get hosed down, like especially if they knew that you're like, oh, you're going to court and you not looking so hot already. Let's hose you down.
Yeah.
give me some new stuff to wear, you know?
Yeah.
If they really
Yeah.
let him walk out of prison like that or out of jail like that,
Mhm.
like, I'd be a little concerned with staffing, to be honest.
Oh, well, absolutely. I don't know how I don't even know
Yeah.
how that came about because I still have problems believing that places that know they're under such scrutiny and still do things to that incarcerated individual. Yes, exactly, Lynn. He unsnapped it for the picture. Oh, and there we are. Jazzy says
And
her
again,
evening hello.
surprising that no one, like, none of the guards that are surrounding him snapped him back up, you know? Like, for me, like, that would be, like, publicity nightmare. You don't want an inmate to look like that and then have claims like this.
Well, that's the thing, and that's why I'm wondering. It makes sense to me that he just as he's going in, just like Lynn's saying, then he probably popped out the beautiful undershirt he's wearing. Because I mean, if you even look at the way his hands are curled up in that picture, and just, I'm not buying it. Oh, there goes Mekci. Holy Jasmine, enough out of you. Holy, she owns the whole damn street. So take it outside. Take it outside. No, shoo shoo. So yeah, he wore that shirt for a reason. So was he just getting out of rec? There we
Mhm.
go, Mexi. Is it that Chinese spy balloon again? Jame asks.
It is James. James is the Chinese spy balloon.
Yeah, something like he came from outside. That's why I'm wondering if it was rec time that he had just before that. Like, I don't know.
Oh, it looks like
Sketchy.
he has his mom's spaghetti all over his shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. And then as soon as kind of things got handled, he was bouncing right back, stopped eating paper and got back into food. They said that his mood lifted and all sorts of good things. So this guy, the DOJ or their mental health provider has provided me no mental health help or treatment. I correspond with a New York Times investigative reporter and her team at the University School of Law and have made them aware of the assaults and abuse and mistreatment going on here at Westville Correctional Facility and other DO DOC? JD, oh my word, facilities. Please forward this letter to the judge in regarding Richard Allen's case and to his attorneys because I have wrote to those organizations mentioned to expose the assaults, abuse, and mistreatment. Respectfully submitted, sincerely, Robert P. Barton, Botan.
Robert's a one-man crusader.
Isn't he? That's what I'm kind
You
of
know,
thinking
if only he
here.
would have taken that same sort of passionate love for human rights.
Right? Oh my
He took, yeah.
word.
Um, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm curious though. Like, I do want to know if there's any truth to any of the reports. I don't necessarily care how these guys get treated per se, especially this guy Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Richard?
but I mean, no, well, Robert, because he's been convicted, so I don't really care.
Oh, that guy. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Richard, I mean, if this is America, we're supposed to go by you're actually innocent until you're proven guilty, regardless of what statements he's made. I just
Yeah.
would hate for him,
Oh.
like, for him to die before he even gets to court, you know?
Oh, what? Oh, my word. So let's see here. I'm wondering if I have. Yeah, the fact that he went through all of this and then they ended up doing a competency evaluation on him and they said he was absolutely fine. So if he's up to, he's not that great of an actor, I don't think. I
think they
There
need
we
more
go.
than a prison for child predators.
Oh my word.
I still vote that we put them all on a boat, ship
Yep.
them to Snake Island, where there's like a
Yes.
poisonous snake every 2 feet or something.
Make a survival mission out of it.
Yeah, we can go hang out.
So I'm just kind of going through here some of this stuff. I'm not quite sure when I want to pull up next, but they sure do try. Let me bring this back up again. They sure try to squash a lot.
Yeah. But why?
Like,
I mean,
defense?
I get why, but
So this was done in May. Let me see. Oh, the girls are really putting on a show tonight.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just see what this was. No. Oh, listen to them. They're on Delphi behind me, too. What we just saw, what we just heard, and bring a sense of the emotions. Motion to reconsider and request for due process hearing. Back in November. Emergency motion filed on April 5th. Oh my God. 2023. Requested that his honorable court schedule a hearing so as to allow defendant Allen to offer up evidence in support of his request. No hearing was afforded to defendant Allen. You know, he's got this pity party going on that I'm not too fussy on. Hey, Shauna.
Yeah, we should send him some balloons or something. Get better soon.
Right? Oh. Yeah, allegedly confessed in a phone call to his wife. So who we got this coming from? Is that ABC? So what do you think, Mekci? Do you think he will continue to
roll with this? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
think he will, eh?
All the way until it gets him something or it just gets denied or buried.
Yeah, there is that. I don't know what to think of. I don't know how he's going to manage to have this squashed where, I mean, it's his own damn doing. And especially, I mean, the guy's not, in my mind, he's putting on a show. It's just my personal opinion. Okay, sorry guys, NBC. Check them out.
Admitted to killing Abigail Williams and Libby German, quote, no less than 5 times while talking to his wife and his mother on the public jail phones. Back in 2017, the 2 girls went missing while hiking a local trail. 1 day later, their bodies were found in the woods. I miss them.
please call the tip line.
Police had this video to work with, just a few seconds from Libby's cell phone, of a man hard to identify, but with this chilling audio. Family members pleading with the public to review the video and police sketches. Then, a break.
An arrest has been made.
Investigators say they believe Richard Allen is the man in this video. They say in a probable cause affidavit that he told them he was on the trail that afternoon, but denied being involved in the murders. Last October, investigators searched Allen's home. A laboratory analysis determined the unusual.
So, yeah, he sure did, Shauna. He confessed back in April. We're just finding out now. And, yeah, he started to get sick and eat paper after that.
Yeah, and I think that's what the guards were saying, right? That's why he wasn't receiving his paperwork from court, because they thought he was just gonna
Eat it.
Oh my gosh.
Damn, people are dumb. Oh, well, a little bit of fiber in the diet. So I don't know the answer to this one. Do you, Mekci? And he hasn't talked to his wife or mom since that call. I'm not sure.
That's kind of how it reads, like on that. It's in one of the documents that they dumped. That's kind of how it reads, that he was on the phone with his wife. He confessed, she hung up, and then he went back to his cell and broke his tablet.
Yep.
He threw a fit in there, started.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. But apparently he was doing really well before then, like exercising and making friends, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he smashed his tablet into bits, and that was his only communication. And yeah, then he started to like eat paper and instead of food. It's like, oh my God, man. How you doing? Is it Digger Dave? Good to meet you, friend. Yeah, it's just this, man. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
He broke his tablet and started to eat paper instead of food.
What a childish thing to do. I mean, I don't know. That childish, but like you're sitting in a jail cell awaiting to possibly be sentenced to death, or possibly allegedly killing 2 girls.
Yeah.
And you got 3 meals a day, a tablet. You can send text messages. You can call people.
Lynn.
I just,
yeah.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it.
No. Yeah, exactly my thoughts. His tablet, they have internet. Why? Yes. So what I'm imagining is that it probably comes out of his commissary. They have to probably pay for minutes on both sides, is my guess. And yeah, and then they've got, I imagine it's limited access. I don't know for sure. I would hope. But yeah, I'd like to know if actual inmates, the ones that have been convicted, if they're getting this right as well.
I know that like some jails have like this like checkout policy. Like you have to be in good standing, right? Like on good behavior.
Okay.
And you can kind of like go to the library or something and like check one out for like a tablet or something for the day.
Okay.
Or
yeah, it blows me away what they get for rights. He has not been convicted, so, but I mean, he smashed his tablet. Should he get another one? Like,
absolutely not.
Right.
That's taxpayer money. Like,
Yes.
There's kids going to school that need tablets. Like,
Right. So yeah, as far as his wife, I guess when he went in, he didn't even look at her. So I don't know if that was maybe to keep on the crazy act, or if I don't know. I don't know.
Used bullet located near one of the victims had been in the chamber of one of Allen's seized firearms, according to a probable cause affidavit. Within 3 weeks, he was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. The victims' families not ready to rest.
We're going to stay after it. We haven't ever given up.
Allen's lawyers have filed a motion to suppress evidence seized from his home, arguing the affidavit supporting the search warrant was too broad. They also want the laboratory analysis thrown out. But on April 3rd, prosecutors allege Allen called his wife from the Westville Correctional Facility and confessed to the killings. His wife abruptly ended the phone call.
Confessions made on prison phone calls are not only admissible, they are devastating. Juries listen to them and believe them.
The day after the alleged confession, Allen's attorneys visited him in jail. According to court documents, they say, quote, Mr. Allen appeared to be suffering from various psychotic symptoms, which counsel would describe as schizophrenic and delusional. The next day, they filed an emergency motion saying Allen's treatment in custody is infringing on his constitutional rights and asking for their client to be transferred.
All right, Ellison Barber joins us now in studio. So, Ellison, going back to that new reporting, these alleged confessions that he made to his...
So yeah, I agree. Why not books? Why can't they read books? Like Mekci was saying, do you know how many kids would love to have a laptop for school? Even, yeah. No. And it's, by the looks of things, it's possible that the government bought him a new one, not his wife bought him a new one. Which is what I would think would have to happen, but I don't know. So then he says he has no contact with his lawyer. Well, when you're eating their notes and smashing your only form of contact with them, well.
yeah, if he stopped eating paper, he might feel better. And, I'm just trying to think of like all sides here, playing devil's advocate. But if he really did have like some breakdown, right? Like, let's just pretend that he's really completely innocent.
Yeah.
And he had a breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
What's that condition called? It's like pica or something, where
pick-up personality,
where all like people just like get this thing where all of a sudden they just like eat the most
James
random things uncontrollably, like, and it's part of like a stress thing or something, like a coping thing.
I think he's been walking around not feeling so great. I don't know if it's because he was afraid of getting caught.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be walking around feeling great either.
Oh, but is this just going to be fear of getting caught, or is there actual remorse for what he did to those girls? Seriously, James, is that right? In the UK, those on hunger strikes will get force-fed after a while. Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know if he was saying, there's one thing on there that says that he was showing schizophrenic tendencies. Well, trust me, and I'm sure many of you know as well, if a person's schizophrenic, they're going to do a hell of a lot more than eat paper.
Well, not to mention, you just don't, how old is this guy? 50?
Yep.
You just don't get schizophrenia at 50. Like, so did he always have it? Those records, those medical records that the judge said that he would get released, are those from prior to his arrest as well?
Well, it could be, because, I mean, I'm going to have to look back a little bit to show the receipts, but I'm pretty sure I've got something from when this first started,
Yeah, there's like
after they
there was a
arrested.
rumor because right when he got arrested, like before they even did the like the press conference thing to announce it,
Mm-hmm.
somehow it had leaked and someone said that what?
Well, what I was thinking of is the fact that I'm pretty sure there's paperwork showing that he went to the hospital right after this.
So, oh, okay. Well, I was thinking like right when he got arrested, there was a rumor saying that right after the murders, right after the girls
Mhm.
passed away, that he might have gone to a mental institution or like some kind of rehab place or something.
Right after this happened, right?
Yeah, like right after like
Yeah.
murders, yeah.
Yeah, I think he got out of the area.
I mean, that would be a really good way to like lay low, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm pretty damn sure that's exactly what happened, but like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and look to find the receipts, but yeah, I'm pretty damn sure that he ended up like he was clinking after he did that and ended up having to go to the hospital. Something Doug Carter said in the beginning always stuck. The evidence shows that this person still has a conscience. Hello, Dandy. Do you
Yeah, he
think
had
maybe
said
he was
one of the other things that Doug Carter said, he was standing right in front of the sign that tells you like which way you're going at the trail, like where the bridge is and whatnot,
Mhm.
like the entrance. And he was like, I know for sure that this guy stood here or has
Yeah.
stood here because they have like a little memorial service for the girls there, a site. And he was like, I'm more than sure he stood here and looked at it. And I was like, man, he's probably right. And from what we know, it sounds like that it's
Yeah.
correct that Richard Allen like goes down there a lot. His daughter took
Yeah.
pictures down there on the bridge.
Oh, it's sickening. It's just sickening. I agree, James. So yeah, I'm not sure about rehab either, Lynn, but I'm pretty sure he went into a head doctor for a little bit right after this happened. I don't know if I heard about rehab, but I'm pretty sure I heard something about yeah, he was sketching out a little bit. And yeah, same thing. He did, I don't know. Allegedly, he did have alcohol problems, didn't he, Mekci?
I mean, that's what they're claiming, but I mean, this guy was like on a pool league. If he had if he had gone to rehab or had some kind of alcohol problem, he sure as hell wasn't doing anything to fix it because he was still drinking. Like, there's pictures of him drinking.
Yeah, with the picture of BG right behind him. Okay. Okay, then. Rumor is he went to rehab for alcohol abuse. All right. All right. I'm going to have to find that paperwork again and see what all was happening in the world of Richard Allen. So much has come out that it's hard to remember all of it, especially with all these other cases.
His mother and to his wife. Those were recorded phone conversations?
Yes, so they say they were made on a public phone within the jail. So they have transcripts of what they say transpired in those phone calls. We have all this information because the judge in this case, Judge Francis Gold, made the decision to release a trove of documents related to this. There are over 118 separate documents.
That's the thing. It's not 118 pages. It's 118 separate files. So, oh my goodness, working a person's way through these has been crazy.
here. So going through all of that, there's a lot of information. They say in these documents as well that shortly after he made these phone calls, there was a noticeable change in his behavior. They say he wasn't eating. He was wetting pieces of papers of information from his attorneys and eating it. They did a psychiatric evaluation to see if he needed to be moved. They say the psychiatrist who evaluated him determined he did not need any sort of facility with a psychiatric unit and left him there. Then they say his behavior, according to these documents, went back to normal. The implication there from prosecutors seeming to be that he had a clear physical and mental reaction to making these confessions.
So this whole process has been so painful for the families of the two girls who died here. What's next in the trial? Where do we go from here?
So next, that same judge, Judge Gold, will have to make a determination in terms of the motions related to all of this evidence, what will and will not be allowed to play out in trial. After that is done right now,
I really, really hope this does not go to trial. Oh my God.
trial is expected to happen early next year, early 2024.
Ellison Barber first. Ellison, we appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Outrage.
So confessed on a phone call to his wife. I mean, he knew that those. What's going on, Mekci? I wonder what the hell. Didn't used to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they released most of the docs from after the gag order was implemented, but they have not released the rest. And that's the thing. There's lots more to come. We've got an idea of what they've searched for and what have you, but we don't have any idea as to the results of a lot of the things, like with many of these cases. You're back, Mekci.
Am I still screaming?
No?
Okay,
No.
good.
No, it's all good. So let me see here. So the girls' remains were found in a wooded area near Delphi Historic Trail one day after they vanished on February 13th, 2017 by a sharp object, according to one of the unsealed documents. Allen was arrested last year and charged with 2 counts of unaliving. He is being held at the facility until his trial. Hundreds of pages of documents in this case were made public on Wednesday. Judge Frances Segal wrote in her order that her decision was based on counsel agreeing the court that the public interest is best served by transparency. Well, no doubt. I mean, so many people, including myself, all we've got is enough to speculate. This helped, but
Yeah.
pretty hard not to speculate when there was hardly anything out. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, right, James? Blah, not a personal fave. How you doing, Mekci?
I'm doing good. I'm just having a good time watching this guy over here try to build a fan.
In one of the documents, prosecutors said that investigators had Allen's phone call to his wife transcribed, and the transcription confirms that Richard M. Allen admits that he did commit the attack on both Abigail Williams and Liberty German. He admits several times within the phone call that he committed the offenses as charged.
Can we
His
just
wife.
play a little excerpt of that transcript?
Come again?
I just want a little excerpt of that transcript where he says that. I just want to see it.
Oh, you want to see that?
Yeah, I just want just a little excerpt of it.
Oh, I'm sure sooner or later they're going to release it because both the prosecution and the defense are saying that it happened. So wouldn't surprise me if it came out. Right?
I mean, I would think that that's what the defense is trying to do right now is they're chasing down the corruption in the prison to see if they can get those things thrown out, probably. I doubt they're going to succeed, but
No,
it's
because I
efficient.
mean, what's
At this
going on
point.
right now has got really nothing to do with what happened originally.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a fishing expedition to see what they can get out of doing this.
absolutely. So it says in a separate document, Allen's attorneys argue that around the time that the call was made, he appeared to be suffering from various psychotic symptoms, with counsel would describe as schizophrenic and delusional. But we have to remember at the same time, he was sent and he was looked at, and they say that he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The probable cause affidavit says Abby and Libby were found dead in the woods less than a quarter mile from the Monon High Bridge, and there was a .40 caliber unspent round found between the victims' bodies, less than 2 feet away from Libby German. Investigators first spoke to Richard Allen back in 2017, and at that time, Allen told investigators he was on the trails by the Monon High Bridge between 1:30 and 3:30 on the day of the murders. The PC did not say why investigators spoke to him back in 2017. Then, last month on October 13th, investigators interviewed Allen again. According to the PC, Allen again said he was on the Monon High Bridge to watch the fish. He said he parked.
I don't know. That still cracks me.
Always cracks me up. It's like 150, 100 feet up in the air. You're like, you're watching fish? Wow.
Oh my word. Like you'd think he would have found something maybe a little bit
Better. Just
more believable.
enjoying the view. I was watching fish. Oh,
I
okay.
was watching fish. Alrighty then. Hi.
His car on the side of an old building and was wearing blue jeans and a blue or black Carhartt jacket with a hood. Investigators say that matches the clothes worn by the man who Libby captured in this video on the day of the murder. Last month, Allen also told investigators he owns firearms. That same day, police executed a search warrant at his Delphi home.
I was quite amazed at how many knives and firearms they brought out of this place. Surprised me a little bit.
And recovered jackets, boots, knives, and firearms, including a Sig Sauer model P226 .40 caliber pistol. He told investigators he never allowed anyone to use or borrow that firearm. Investigators sent that gun to the Indiana State Police Crime Lab for analysis.
He was just burying himself.
Yeah, like he puts himself there.
Yep.
He confirms all the clothing. And I do wonder, like, what would make, like, if you were guilty, if you did it,
Yeah.
why would you go putting yourself there? Because nobody would have recognized him. Like, nobody recognized him.
But I don't think he would have known that. What makes me curious is what on God's green earth would make him proceed with what he was going to do when people had obviously seen him. What was going on at him that he didn't put that off?
Well, yeah, I mean, we could ask the same thing. Like, I mean, we've asked that same question with like Brian Koberger. Like all the things that were happening. There was cops in the area and DoorDash delivery. And this guy was just like Leroy Jenkins, man. Like he just ran in there and
yeah.
It's just like, something that was supposed to be so planned.
Yeah. Yeah.
It almost seemed like he winged it.
Now, are we talking Richard Allen?
Both. relatable.
Yeah. Richard Allen, he wasn't super fly about hiding his activities. That's for damn sure. I mean, if it was him, who does something like this and then walks down a road with muddy and bloody clothes on? There's just, yeah, I guess he does. And, I think the reason he put himself there is because he probably thought, I mean, there's that woman that's seen him. He probably thought he'd been seen and would be recognized,
Here's
because that would be my fear.
another question I have about that too is
Mhm.
the Harvester store video. If he was seen, right? Like his car was seen going through there, let's just say, could they not get a plate? Did they get plates off those other cars and that's how they tracked him down? Or like they just voluntarily showed up to
I think people probably voluntarily went in and said, I'd be on that camera. I'd be on that camera. It's been there forever, that thing, I'm assuming. That small town, right? It's not like a big city where you put out an alert on that. Like a small town, you're like anybody who was in the area and this time, between this time and that time, call the police. Yes, absolutely, Shauna. I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of that 43 seconds of that tape. I was kind of hoping that we were going to see something along those lines, or maybe a little bit more extension of what we've already got. Down the hill.
And it was determined the unspent round located within 2 feet of Libby's body had been cycled through Richard M. Allen's gun. Then, on October 26th, state police again spoke to Allen, and when asked about the unspent bullet, he did not have an explanation of why the bullet was found between the bodies. He again admitted that he was on the trail, but denied
Such a coincidence.
knowing Abby or Libby and denied any involvement in their murders. 1 day later, Allen was charged with 2 counts of
Okay, here's something else. I had no idea how tall this guy was. Like, he's short.
Mm-hmm.
I expected someone 5'10" or something along those lines, but do you know this guy's height yet?
I think he's like 5'7" or something. From my guesstimation of him on the pool table, I was like trying to do, I suck at math, right?
Right?
And I was like, he's not 5'8".
No, I was thinking like 5'5".
5'4". Oh my God, I'm taller than him.
Is he 5'4"? Yeah. When
My
you see him, like,
goodness.
he's just...
Maybe that's also probably why the weight
Thanks, Dave.
loss looks so dramatic on him too, because he is a small guy by nature.
Yeah. So do you think this could be a little bit... you hear of that little man syndrome? Actually, my ex-husband had that, so...
Napoleon
Do you
syndrome.
think Napoleon, do you think maybe he have a little bit of that going on?
Yeah, I just wonder why why he waited so long to just bring that out. Like, has he done this before? Why those girls?
Oh, right. So the tape, 23 seconds long, I think it's 43 seconds long, James. And from what I understand, I mean, not 100%, but from what I remember, they said that most of it is before the down the hill. Again, not gospel.
I would have charged this fucking dude
Yeah.
like a linebacker and thrown him off the freaking bridge.
Exactly, Dave.
That's me. But, or those kids, though, can we talk about how brave they were for even
Oh,
putting out their phone, recording it,
Absolutely. Smart girls. Smart girls. Oh, unreal.
The kids.
What, okay, what did I just see here? If you take an image of Abby on the bridge and RA on the bridge, they're close to the same height. So, how did he handle Libby?
It was probably the gun and then threatening Abby. You subdue one by controlling the other. They're best friends.
Yeah. Yeah. 5'4". Yeah, how and then another thing that I know I should get this out of my brain, but how much his daughter seems to look like Libby. What
I
the
won't ever get that
hell?
out of my head. And then
Oh my
seeing that picture
God.
of her, like what was like, were they graduation photos or maybe even like
Yeah.
engagement photos? She was sitting on the bridge.
Yeah, it's makes you feel nauseous, right? Do you, James? James says he still thinks two people, and you know what? KK's 6 foot tall. Ron Logan, 6'2". Yeah, like a person knew even watching that he wasn't anywhere near the 6 foot. Oh, absolutely. Little man, but good enough shape to be hiking all over. I agree 1,000%, Shauna.
James, RL was on the grassy knoll.
Okay, let's see what else is up here. Okay. So what do we got going on over here? Let's finish it up.
Murder and has been in custody ever since.
Okay,
Tonight,
then.
a new law is set to abandon
So 60 miles northwest of Indianapolis is where Delphi is located. So after their deaths, police released grainy photos of a man believed to be Alan walking on the old railroad bridge Abby and Libby had visited. So this is where I was going to go. James, are you still thinking Keegan Kline and Tony Kline? How about you, Mekci?
You really want to hear my conspiracy theory?
I do.
Keegan Kline, Ron Logan, Richard Allen somehow got suckered into this. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need someone to tell me why Keegan Kline puts himself in the area.
Yes. And as the last people talking to him. Like, he admits to the catfishing and catfishing of Libby.
What? I just don't even like. How is he talking to them the day before? They tell him that they're going to the Moonon, and then he doesn't show up apparently, but he's in the area.
Exactly.
And they just happen to meet another freaking predator on the trail.
What is the likelihood?
Not very likely.
Right?
This is where I was kind of trying to go down this hole with Dropbox. Because what if Keegan really is the guy that just does all the work, the legwork? Like,
yep.
You know, talks to the girls, kind of reels.
He catfishes. He does the catfishing.
He reels them in, and then he drops the info in a Dropbox. And then there's like these little predators who, just pick up the information and do what they will with it.
Yeah. True enough. True enough. Oh, I just have a hard time. Keegan catfishing, like you said, total predator. And if it wasn't Keegan, it was Tony. One of them for sure talked to them the night before. And then you've got like another child predator that unalives, then no.
He's just sitting on a bench waiting. Was just there at the perfect time. Had gotten there right before the girls did, or I think it was like an hour prior. Did he get there early?
Got there earlier than them, I do believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only thing I'm wondering, Dave, about that, because I totally agree with you, but what if it's Tony?
That's another one.
What if it's Tony?
And if it is Tony, he's getting that info from Keegan. Like,
well, Keegan said in an interview with the Murder Sheet podcast that he is only responsible for approximately 7 of those interactions, and that his dad was responsible for the rest.
Right. I did read that on his transcripts that he had with the cops.
And then somebody said something, well, how come you don't think anything's being done with that? And he said, basically, they're just ignoring me. So I don't know. I don't know.
That's interesting, Dave. I mean, because I do believe, I think, Dave, you're onto something. Like, let's say that if the last witness would have actually came to the bridge, they would have been the victim. Would you, and I know that the girls were young, but would you go for one, or would you try to take two? Or did he just say, I'm here, I brought all my stuff, I'm gonna do this, and he just took a risk?
Yeah, but remember, they were told to delete the apps and everything. So if that's the case, would it still be on Libby's phone? That's what I don't know. They're saying that Libby was told to delete the apps, delete everything off of her phone. So if that's the case, if she did delete it all, could they still get that information?
They could depending what app she was using, like Snapchat has servers.
It was Snapchat.
You would have to subpoena them, and they could go looking for that info.
I thought they also did it the night before, Dave. Do you live out that area? You're a smart cat. You're a
No, because I was actually going to ask him the same question, because I had a question about how big that wooded area there is at Moonon.
Okay, you are in that area. Okay. Wow. So how long to get from, say, Richard Allen's house to that bridge, in your opinion? Well, you would know.
Driving or walking?
Oh,
he's lying.
Oh.
I'm all excited for nothing, Dave. About to hit you all sorts of questions.
Yeah, for some reason, I thought I heard that they also got a hold of, like, they deleted everything out of Libby's phone the night before. Now, I mean, I could be mistaken. Some of this information is, I'm looking back a while, but definitely worth looking into. And then my other thing is, as far as Tony, how would they ever decipher if they're both working with that Anthony Shots profile.
Yeah, they're using the same phones, operating under the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They wouldn't.
How are they going to catch Tony? Unless, I mean, if Tony is involved, unless that purple PT Cruiser that was parked there happened to be his mom's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did she? It was on the 13th?
Yeah, I think she had gone they'd gone to the police station or something that night.
Yeah.
And they had asked, I don't know if like the cops handed her the phone or she had the phone. Or I don't know but she was going through the contact somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she even talked to Keegan for a second.
Yeah.
And asked if he had talked to
Yeah.
Libby, and he's like, no. And that was that.
That's
scary, isn't it?
It is. Because I remember reading that in that transcript, like him talking about it. He was just like, I guess the message read like, hey, did you hear what happened to Libby or something? And he was like, no, what happened? Like,
wow, hey. Just unreal. Unreal. You know, this was basically the only place that those girls could go to get outside. The rest is like prairie. And I grew up on the prairies. No, not a hell of a lot to do on the prairies. Skate and baseball. I believe Becky Patty when she said this wasn't a planned event. They were supposed to go shopping. In my opinion, they didn't go to the bridge to meet. Yeah, I trust pretty much anything that Becky puts out. No, and it wasn't a planned event. This was not a planned event, but I don't know if they had possibly talked to somebody on one of these apps, and I mean, I would have driven across the country if Anthony Shots had got a hold of me. I'd have stole a car to meet that boy. And I would have ran into Keegan.
man, well, if these guys aren't connected by any means, that would mean that it's just a really small freaking world. And really is a whole bunch of predators that we don't even know about that are just like standing next to us. Like,
well, that's very true.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the saddest part is the person starts looking for predators on the registries. They're every second corner. Scary. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It is a great help for the channel. Let me tell you. Yeah, I don't know. Keegan Kline and Tony Kline. I just have a very hard time thinking they're not involved somehow. Tony and Richard Allen are the same age. And they lived in the same town, probably went to the same school. Who owned the car? We've seen in the profile of AS. We heard the car was in Peru. Oh, Mekci, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it, friend. So let's see here. In my opinion, Ari had been planning this for a long time, and he had been to those trails. Maybe even trying to do this, and unfortunately, this was the wrong day for LG and Abby.
Yeah.
Mind that Keegan and Tony had absolutely nothing to do with this. And Ron Logan, damn him, hey? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
his fault. He did everything. Oh, Dave, thank you, friend.
There's just so many weird things,
Thank you so much for the super sticker.
Involved in this. Like, I question why Ron Logan felt the need to obtain an alibi for this specific time. Those girls would have been in that area without him even knowing about it, right? I don't know. And then Keegan, and then Tony's a creeper. I don't know.
Oh, you see, I never really thought about that.
Oh, and he didn't call. Oh, well, I guess, yeah, because he's like a. He would look bad on him. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that would make sense. That's an interesting theory. I never thought about that.
Neither did I. That is a very interesting theory because I'm pretty sure he'd be the last one to go around saying, oh, guess what? I found these unalived girls at the bottom of my hill. Don't know how it happened.
So, but would Ron Logan have already known, I guess, at that point, during when the cops came over to talk to him, would he have already known that the girls were at the bridge around that same time that he got the alibi for? Because he said he went to a fish store or something.
Oh. I doubt he found the girls. So do you still think Ron Logan is part of this, Lynn? Ah. I mean, the likelihood in my mind that somebody else is involved, just due to all the different loose ends out there.
Yeah.
At this point, it's hard. Mm-hmm.
I know, I know this is like a long running joke here in this channel is about Ron Logan. Like, I always say it's him. I can't get off of it. But in all honesty, this is the route that Richard Allen and his attorneys would probably want to take, is go ahead and throw Ron Logan under the bus.
Okay.
Like, use him as reasonable doubt and
okay. So you know what, Shauna? I heard that what is his wife gonna do? In his last appearance, someone asked her, I don't know why she was there or what exactly the question was, but she looked at them and said that she's there because he is her person. I don't know what to think of that, and that's after the confession.
We have hail. 1 second.
Oh, let there be hail. Yeah, I know, James, exactly. How dumb would it be to, one, unalive them, then leave the bodies on the edge of his property, two, find bodies but not report?
Rookie mistake. Yeah, would you really do all
Yeah,
three?
that's what I heard too.
No.
What's that, friend?
Would you really do all three,
Do all three, yeah.
Well, I get maybe he did find the girls and he didn't report it because he was on probation. He kind of figured that maybe he'd get in trouble for it. But that would have been the right thing to do, sir. Like, if you did do that, I'm not saying you did, but
Right?
calling it in would have been the right thing. That was loud. Woo.
Yeah. My person, right? I don't know exactly what that, I mean, I know what it means, but I don't think I really, ugh. That's all I have to say. My person. So what? She's there to protect him? Is that what she's meaning? She's there for him always because, everybody's husbands slip up every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean,
I
she
don't
could be in,
know.
like, still denial, Maybe she needs time to kind of process through things as well.
Oh, hey, thank you, Shauna. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. I don't think she meant person. I don't think she meant person of interest. I think she meant that was her man.
Yeah, like, that's my person, like, I love him,
Yeah.
that's my soulmate, but, I mean, she herself needs time to process, like, everything that's going on, like
Oh, my word. Yeah. I heard something about that too, Dave. Absolutely. I don't know. There's just so much to learn yet. Let's see here what this one has to say for us. The middle here. Doesn't he look pissed off?
Aw, he looks so sad.
The one in the middle?
Oh, no, I was looking at, his don't wanna
Oh, his little pout there with the slop
yeah.
all over him. Yeah, just undo the. Wow. Right? Doesn't he look pissed off? Like, you can just imagine what allegedly these girls seen. That is,
The look in his eyes in that middle picture is,
yeah.
it's like they're
He,
looking, like, right through you.
yeah, and that's his one of his first arrest pictures.
Mhm.
Unfrickin' real. Oh, do you think so? Do you think so? Yes.
Well, he said that they have him living in a dog kennel in a
Oh my
cell no bigger
God.
than a dog kennel. Even my dog has, like, a 5 by 4 like
Oh, yeah. Like they get out the violin is
Oh my
basically
goodness.
what I was thinking
I
listening to
don't
that.
so okay, so let me get this right. He's in a dog kennel
Yes.
with a tablet.
Yes.
He's making a bed out of all the paperwork that he's being given and then eating it at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yeah, it just doesn't compute, does it? No. No. So, I don't know what the hell he splatted on himself there, but my guess is he did it himself because what I've read is he's kind of a tidy guy. And that whole look in his face, that's not delusional that I see in his eyes. Not anywhere. And if this was the case, schizophrenic delusional individual, don't you think maybe his family would have picked up on this little clink?
Yes, that's what I was saying earlier. You don't become schizophrenic at
Oh,
50. It happens at a
yeah.
young age. So,
Or a severe head injury or something. Like, oh. The warden came out and gave the details of RA and news article after the defense came out with this nonsense. You bet. Absolutely. Let me look. I think it might be one of the last ones I've got up.
I was just about to tell you, like, can we get that? I want to hear what he's got to say.
Let me see here. Mm-hmm. Still looking. Mm. Okay, I'm not finding it there, Mekci, but yeah.
Good night, James.
Oh, good night, James. Thanks for being here, friends. Friend. So, not there. Let's check out this, actually. While a person looks. This is them.
You did? Lynn, if you can drop it in the chat, I'll just copy and paste it over. Thank you, love.
Mm-hmm.
New developments in the murders in Delphi, Indiana. Unsealed documents tonight reveal shocking new details about the deaths of 2 little girls and the man police say is responsible. A portion of it centers on a confession to his wife. NBC5 Investigates' Bennett Haberly joins us now with much more. Bennett?
Allison, that supposed confession was included in hundreds of unsealed court records. They're coming to light after a podcaster and attorney fought to have them released, and they're providing new details about a crime that grabbed national attention. Newly released court documents allege that during an April 3rd phone call to his wife, Richard Allen admitted several times that he killed Abby Williams and Libby German. According to the court records, his wife ended that phone call abruptly. In another document, one of 118 released by the court Wednesday, Allen's defense attorneys alleged that the day after that phone call, they visited him in jail and that he appeared to be suffering from memory loss, various psychotic symptoms, which they described as schizophrenic and delusional. In their filings, his attorneys included photos of Allen showing his supposed deterioration before his arrest to now, after spending months in an Indiana correctional facility as he awaits trial. The newly released documents also included a note that investigators believe both a gun and knife were involved in the murders of the 2 girls, whose bodies were discovered near a Delphi, Indiana trail in 2017, and that clothing items, including underwear and a sock, were missing from the crime scene. Investigators had previously released this audio recording of a person captured on one of the girls' cell phones, a person they believed was...
Still blows me away that they had all of that information and it took all this time. It blows me away.
He was working at CBS, printing out
Right?
pictures for these families.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. You got to feel sorry. So Anna is Abby's mom. And you, yeah, how can you not, eh? It's heart-wrenching. So I found this a real interesting comment too, Mekci. I think it's strange that no one knows anything about this guy before the crime. No one has come out and defended him. No friends, no anything. Yeah. Well said. I think the guy at the bar
Yeah, that would tie in with that whole like lone wolf thing. He's kind of a loner. And but like
Yeah.
that's how a lot of people described him too. He was quiet, took like just kept to himself.
Yeah.
And maybe there is something to his wife being like, that's my person, because that's like the only person he ever talked to or
Yeah.
hung out with, you know?
Yeah. Right? Yeah, exactly. He married his high school sweetheart. Can you imagine? Oh my God, the trauma for them.
Is responsible. The records state police later connected Allen to the crime scene through an unspent bullet found near the girls' bodies. His attorneys, though, have challenged that and tried to suppress ballistic testing evidence on that firearm. And this afternoon, we did reach out to Mr. Allen's attorney, hoping to get a response. We have not heard back yet. Allen's trial is set for January. Allison?
So yeah, January. As it stands right now, if it doesn't get bumped, or if he doesn't just do the right thing and plead guilty. I don't know if Mekci was able to. I was not able to, but I was only able to look for a couple seconds there too. Like not as long as I'd like to. Maybe we'll see how this goes. You there, Max?
Yeah, I'm here. I was typing actually a response to her.
No problem. I was like,
because like I know she said, I know that you said heading up above, and I looked above and I was like, I couldn't see it, so maybe it didn't let it copy and paste or something. But let me do this.
the Westville prison warden provided very
I got it.
sweet dreams, Shauna. Thanks for being here,
I
friend.
copied and pasted your message, Lynn. Thank you. Let me send this to you, Franky.
Okay. Thanks, Lynn. Sweet dreams, Shauna.
Bye, Shauna.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, this one here. Ah, good job. Okay. Over here.
Oh, those that like, so those dots right there, I guess those are the specifics of how he's actually. Bullet points from the warden.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Let's check it out. So, Delphi, attacker defendant Richard Allen, living in 8x12 prison cell under unaliving watch and 24-hour video surveillance. The Westville prison warden provided very specific details about the cell where Allen is living and the accommodations. I like that. He has offered. There you go. Here's your sign.
Balance is doing what I love in a place my family loves.
Well, tonight, we're getting more details on Richard Allen's life inside maximum security prison.
Our John Duran went over the testimony from yesterday's hearing, and he tells us why Allen is under constant surveillance.
23 hours a day, every day, Richard Allen's life is confined to an 8.5-foot by 12-foot cell, which is actually smaller than a parking space. And inside Allen's cell is only a fixed bed frame with a mattress on top, a toilet, and a Bible. Also, a camera that's recording him 24 hours a day. Allen has been on suicide watch at Westville Correctional Facility since last fall. The prison's warden testified Thursday that Allen's mental health seemed to decline the last few months. Because he is on suicide watch, the Indiana Department of Corrections has stationed a prison officer outside Allen's cell around the clock. Another inmate was posted at Allen's cell door as part of the facility's companion program, but the warden said that changed once Allen's mental state declined. Allen was even monitored while speaking to his attorneys. They say prison guards videotaped those meetings, and Westville staff directed Allen to sit in a specific chair that faced a window where prison staff stationed outside the room then recorded the entire meeting through the window.
The privacy with your client is pivotal. I mean, that is the most important thing when you're preparing for trial. I mean, how can you represent someone if you can't have the confidence between one another? So, yes, it's very important, and it's something that his attorneys are rightly concerned about.
At the hearing, the judge agreed to sign a restraining order preventing Westville Correctional Facility staffers from recording future meetings between Allen and his attorneys. In Indianapolis, John Duran, 13 News.
Okay.
I was just about to ask that one question, Lynn. I was like, they're probably just recording like live video to make sure that the lawyers are safe in there. He's not gonna freaking snap on them.
Yeah. I guess it'd have security, right?
Yeah. And Dave, I tried looking that up, how many men are 5'4" in Delphi, Indiana, but unfortunately, census doesn't document height. But I did look.
Okay. Wow. I also find it hard to believe nobody noticed who he was in Delphi. Oh my God, Dave. Do you know, this is probably one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, there's only 3,000 people in that town, and almost everybody goes to their pharmacist at
Yes.
one point.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different things that stood out. And he admitted being there wearing the exact same clothes as Bridge Guy. Like, oh my God. How that paperwork, if that's truly what happened, ended up on the bottom of some file. Well, I'm thinking someone might need to like reevaluate their position. Like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa. He just does not he does not look disassociated. Look at his eyes. They're clear. They're not crazy eyes.
What do crazy eyes look like, though?
Oh, they don't look good. If you see somebody go from a straight state into like a psychotic state, you just watch their eyes. It is the scariest thing you will
It's like
ever
probably their
see.
pupils dilate or something.
Oh, not just that. Their eyes go pitch black.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary. Like, it's enough to make you leave. If this person is near you, it's enough to make you want to leave the entire freaking area. Like, oh my God. It's scary. Has anybody else out there like seen someone go from a regular state and slip into that psychotic state? Oh, yeah. It's enough to give you nightmares, that crap. Woofda. Yeah, stay on your meds, people.
Stay on your meds.
And I mean, I'm a mental illness. I mean, it's a very serious, serious matter. And a lot of people suffer from different forms of it. So I'm not making light of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, you know, you see a lot of people that don't take meds, and it's like, oh no.
Breaking news, a huge day of hearings in the Delphi murders case.
We now have a trial date for that case, and we really heard some explosive new information about what happened while Allen has been awaiting that trial.
Senior investigative reporter Bob Siegel was in the courtroom today. He actually begins our team coverage tonight. Bob, fill us in.
Well, the date we've got circled on our calendars now is January 8th, 2024. That is when jury selection is now scheduled to begin for the trial of Richard Allen, and we're told that that trial will likely last about 3 weeks. Now, the bombshell that we heard.
Oh.
Hotjar takes product teams from.
Yeah, what did Frankie do? There we are. So, where was I exactly? Damn it. There we are. Right?
We are here.
Okay, yeah, that was it.
So many
Top story at
ads on
6:30.
there.
We now know when the suspect in the Delphi murder investigation will go to trial. A judge ruling Richard Allen's trial will start in less than 7 months.
There, that's what I was going to say. Mark that one down on your calendar, January 8th, 2024.
All right,
I'm sure it'll still get bumped or, like I said, go into, maybe he'll plead guilty.
Put it in the door nearby.
Oh, Dave, I'm so sorry. I suffer from selective participation, so I totally understand your plight. No, I did mark the calendar. That's too far away from now, though. Like the 24.
Yeah.
Like that's so long. 7. What is it now? Yeah, 7 months. Right?
All right.
Oh, absolutely, Lynn. And I mean, oh, yeah, I'm sorry that you had to experience something like that. And you're right about that. I do not wander too far, my friend. And I throw myself into this 12 hours usually a day. Okay. Oh. Okay. I did it again. Okay. There.
Coming up in January. Samantha Johnson was inside that courtroom for that announcement yesterday and was really not the only big news that came out of that long day in court.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of the trial date, there was one comment that really caught my attention from the defense in this case. One of Allen's attorneys said the longer we wait to have this trial, the longer the trial is going to be. Of course, we know, as we mentioned, the judge in this case, Francis Gull, decided on January 8th as the trial date for Richard Allen. We know that's when jury selection is scheduled to begin. And as of right now, the court has allotted 3 weeks for this trial, which is scheduled for Carroll County. Now, one of the other big moments from yesterday's hearing, the Carroll County prosecutor, Nicholas McLeland, said Richard Allen made, quote, incriminating statements over the last few months while he's been in prison. He said Allen, quote, confessed 5 or 6 times to killing the girls, end quote. Now, he didn't go into any more detail, but of course, we know he's talking about Abby Williams and Libby German. Allen's attorney said they know about these alleged statements, but that they were generic. The defense also said the jury will hear all about that when the time is.
Yeah. And what is this? They were generic. They've got to backtrack pretty good now in order to try and, I don't know if they can fix this, but backtracking, I guess, might be the only way that they can make an effort.
is right. Now, most of the day yesterday, hours of testimony was all about Richard Allen's health and whether or not he should stay in this maximum security prison unit. The defense is arguing that Allen's health is deteriorating in isolation, but we heard from the prison warden who told the court he would be worried about Allen's safety if he were moved to a less secure facility. We were just inches from Allen during that court yesterday. We watched him come in and out of the courthouse. He did appear weak and unsteady at times, even stumbling throughout the courtroom in a few moments. So the judge now considering both sides of this argument. She did not make a decision yesterday, but we do expect that in the coming days or in the coming weeks.
And it sounds like some of this is self-inflicted, his condition. He's not eating, you said.
Yeah, the warden mentioned yesterday that he's on what they call
paper.
Hunger strike, which means that you've opted out essentially of 4 meals in a row. So he's been placed on that a couple times. The warden also mentioned he had been on suicide watch a few times. Those were just a few of the new elements that we learned. As for what comes next in this case, we know there was supposed to be ballistics evidence mentioned yesterday. That's been continued, so that'll be coming up too. We also know that Judge Gohl actually plans to release documents that are sealed right now. Those are expected next week.
Okay, well, we got those. May? That's amazing. Weather's coming in. So Mekci is she bailed. I don't blame her. So guys, what do you think? What do you think? Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna continue to pick through these papers because there's a lot in there, but it's in little tiny chunks and pieces scattered throughout 118 documents. So both Mekci and I have been pushing ourselves through the documents, and every once in a while it's like, oh my God, what? What? So I think that's about what there is for me to cover tonight. Oh, okay. Sorry, just looking in here. Well, that's the way I see it. You can't believe the defense because all of the small lies. I don't like it that they can just toss out whatever the hell they want and hope something sticks. Anyways, I don't think that might be the right way to get justice, but I don't know. I'm not a professional of any kind. But you see these, same thing in Canada. You see these flaws and it's like, how the hell does that work? It's like, oh, okay, if that's what you say. And things are constantly changing, but I don't see that changing in the near future because I think it's been going on from the beginning of time. So, guys, thank you very much for being here. If you've not subscribed, please do. And if you enjoyed the show, give it a thumbs up. I would love to see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good night, friends. Bye.